fellow Toastmasters, where I can tell you that I will not be talking about the superstorm or the fiscal cliff, and certainly not East Wooding, since I don't know what that is. But I would like to know at some point. Well, as I was thinking about what to tease you with tonight and learn more about you, I decided that I would research famous New Year's Eve quotations said by famous, well-known people, supposedly. And I did that and discovered that I must be really out of it in terms of knowing who is famous these days, or because maybe 2 out of the 20 I knew who they were. But that didn't stop me, and so tonight we'll be dealing with a couple topic concept where it deals with resolutions. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask for your resolutions. But for our guests, the table topic master comes up with, asks fellow Toastmasters, gives them a theme or question, and they were having a chance to respond in 1 or 2 minutes, not impromptu. So no one gets the same question, but it may be based on the same thing. So let's begin. I wanted to review just a little bit of history because I thought it was interesting, and I think we have time and still make the football game. That this earliest recording of the New Year celebration was believed to have begun in, one of my favorite words to say is Mesopotamia, in 2000 BC. And at that time, the New Year's was celebrated in mid-March because they had a shorter calendar. The long 12-month calendar had not been established yet. The Egyptians, Phoenicians, and Persians began their year with the fall equinox, and the Greeks celebrated it with the winter solstice. So there was no uniform celebration in those early ancient days. The first time the New Year was celebrated in January was in Rome in 153 BC. Can anyone name the king, the Roman king, who designated January 1st as the New Year?
Julius Caesar.
That is a good guess, but it was not him. He was in 46 BC. Pardon me? Now that's a good guess too. But actually it's probably somebody you've never heard of, and his name, unless you tell me if you've heard of him, is Numa Pontilius. Have you ever heard of that? No. Also, good, so that's another fact we've learned. But even in 46 BC, when Julius Caesar established the Roman calendar, beginning with January, it still wasn't used uniformly, continuing through the years. Through the Middle Ages, they decided that they didn't necessarily want to do it January 1st, and so they still went back to March. But it was in 1582 with the Gregorian calendar that they restored the New Year's to January 1st, and that's where it is today. So, with that in mind, I thought what I would do was read a resolution of some of these famous people, and I'll ask a question regarding that resolution. And we'll start with Mark Twain's, a resolution by Mark Twain. New Year's is a harmless annual institution of no particular use to anybody, save as a scapegoat for promiscuous drunks, or friendly calls, or humbug resolutions. So, Giorgio, what kind of scapegoat activities do you like to do on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day? It doesn't have to be a promiscuous drunk activity or a friendly call activity or a humbug resolution activity. It's just whatever you like to do.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. New Year is a very special holiday for me. I like to enjoy the holiday with friends. Just like Christmas, I like to enjoy the holiday with family, with close relatives, in a quiet setting. I like to pay my respects and spend the time with my friends on New Year's. It balances family with friends, because I mean, friends are just like your family, and you want to make sure that you include them in your celebrations and your special time. And New Year's is such an opportunity where you can take the chance to renew some of those relationships that you haven't well maintained throughout the year. You can start de novo and work throughout the year on those friendships that you might have been just a little too busy in the previous year, or you might have traveled for work a little too much, or just life got you by surprise. But friends, just like family, are one of the pillars of everybody's life, and we should not forget to really take the time to spend time with them. Thank you, David.
Well, in Spain, they celebrate the New Year's Eve by eating 12 grapes at 12 midnight New Year's Eve. So you each have 12 grapes that you may eat at any time.
Oh, sweet.
Our second quotation comes from, and the winner is an unknown author. I like this one. People are so worried about what they eat between Christmas and New Year, but they really should be worried about what they eat between the New Year and Christmas. So, let's see. Alan, who would you invite? Name 3 to 5 people you would invite to a New Year's Eve dinner, and what would you serve? Doesn't mean you have to know how to cook it, but what would you like to serve them? It could be anything.
Thank you, Madam Topic Master. Well, first of all, I'm not sure I agree with the quote. See, I do the opposite. I try to watch what I eat between the New Year and the holidays, except for vacation week. Vacation week, I do whatever I want. But during the holidays, I splurge. That's when I do eat whatever I want. All the great meals, the desserts, the candies, the fruit, all that stuff. Yeah, I'm opposite. So for my New Year's Eve celebration, if I had 3 to 5 guests, I would have like my closest friends there. Maybe or maybe not my kids. That's debatable, but possibly my kids. And then for the meal, it's prior to January 1st still, so I would probably have something very fattening. Something that's very good. And it could be, let's see, big meal. Could be anything as simple as pizza or burgers. It could be something classic or classy, such as prime rib or a good roast, something like that. Sweet tea, none of that non-sweet stuff. Non-sweet tea. And of course desserts, very good desserts. So I don't agree with the quote, and I would just have a nice, fulfilling meal for New Year's Eve.
Thank you. It was the Babylonians that first started the resolution trend, and that was around 1894 BC. And they also used noise making and fireworks on New Year's Eve because they believed in ancient times that noise and fire were thought to dispel evil spirits and bring good luck. Fire, I guess, was to dispel the evil spirits, and noise was to bring good luck. Okay, our next quotation is by a French-Cuban author. This is someone I did not know. Anais Nin. Is it Nin? Does anybody know that? French-Cuban author? He states, I made no resolutions for the new year. The habit of making plans, of criticizing, sanctioning, and molding my life is too much of a daily event for me. Aaron, so what today? Name something today you did, making a plan of some sort, or what critical, sanctioning, or molding your life action did you take?
That's a great question. I actually didn't have time to sharpen the saw, as they say, or to actually improve myself. But I do have something on my calendar. It pops up every day at 3:30 to 4:30. It says personal development. And I usually stop what I'm doing and commit an hour to myself. And what I've been doing lately is reading different books that will make me good at my job. The most recent one that I'm about halfway through is How to Say It with Charts. And it goes through all the different chart types. It's from the 90s, so it doesn't talk about PowerPoint or anything like that, or Excel plots. But it's basically all of them: bar charts, column charts, you've got scatter, pie charts, when to use them and how. And it's from the director of visuals with McKinsey company. And that's what I've been doing. I didn't get to it today, but I'm going to try to get to it tomorrow. Thank you very much for reminding me.
To me, and we're learning, and I love it because we're learning about everybody a little bit more. So I will turn it back over to our Toastmaster unless you want me to do one or two more, and that's your choice since you're the manager at the time. I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm turning. It's your choice. Okay, I get that stuff. Thanks, everybody.